You have enough room for everything? Okay. Alright, well, we had a question. What was it? I'm Evil Shadow said, Jade, actually show us the many ways of airlocks. Okay, we can show you what different types of airlocks there are. And again, a lot of it's based off of how you want to build your airlocks, but there's some core ideas there. And you're probably asking yourself, why do we care about airlocks? Why is that a thing? So this pertains to, I guess, all platforms, right? The console edition and the PC, right? Even though the console edition is still in the active beta right now. Okay, so right here it kind of shows you a layout of your standard interior, and these little wood triangles on the outside would represent places where you would place, and again, I have admin here, that's why everybody can see this. Or I'm sorry, why I can fly around like this. Alright, so those wooden triangles would represent different types of airlocks, or even honeycomb on a base. So typically, it would take 10 satchels to take out one of these walls here, right? And yes, this is honeycombing or airlocking. Airlocking usually has to do with like doors, but airlocking can also be considered a type of honeycomb. Operation Frost, thank you for that super chat. I appreciate that. So we do something like this here. Let me just go ahead and throw up just a little bit. Whoopsie. A little bit here. A little bit here. Oh my goodness, it decayed. Wait, what? Okay, so I have super stacks again because I'm admin, so you wouldn't normally be able to stack things like this quite so heavily. We'll use satchels because that's more realistic. So one wall is 10 satchels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One of them got it. Just so you know, I'm invincible right now, or else I would have been smoked by now. See how the damage is coming down the wall? So raiding, I guess it's worth saying too that I do have a raid guide. I'll go ahead and link that now in the upper right hand corner. Can somebody in the chat help me out? So that raid guide will help you kind of determine like the best way to hit walls and stuff and what's what. But the best way through any building is always through the doors. But sometimes there's enough doors where maybe hard siding a wall is where it's at. So that's why honeycombing or airlocking can prevent that. So the same setup here, you'd have to go through this wall. Whoops, let me bring up the hammer. You'd have to go through this wall and then this wall again, which would equate to 20 satchels as opposed to just 10. So airlocking is like the same idea. You just have less to protect, or the doors stop less. Rather, so like one door here can take 4 satchels, and double doors are the same. I got 3, 4. And if we go through this door, which is another 4, you're up to 8 satchels. And now through this door, you're up to 12 satchels. So you can already tell, just by getting up to this point, we've already made it more expensive going through one of the walls. Or, yeah, more expensive to go through the doors than the walls. But that's the thing. As you're looking on the inside, you don't necessarily know. So that's why airlocks are important. You want to add more cost to it. But the thing is, with these doorways like so, if you didn't have all these here, you know, and you only had like 2 doors, that would be 8 satchels. So that's 2 less than a standard wall. And another reason why you would airlock things, let me show you another good reason why, or even honeycomb. There's only one weapon really that can truly splash, and that is a rocket. So normally, if your top of your base is right here, a rocket can splash damage all of these tiles all at once. So watch, one rocket can splash 4 tiles. Bust out the hammer, look at that. 363 across the board. And just a little bit over here. I hit it like right square in the center here. So you're getting multiple hits for the price of 1. That kind of makes sense? I hope I'm explaining it all right. But airlocks, give it a chance so A, people can't rush in on you, but also so it adds to the cost of raiding. So we're about halfway now. That was what, 2 rockets? So airlocking and honeycombing can add to the cost of raiding and give you more protection. 88. But you notice on top of this base, we have an extra half wall layer that is protecting the actual ceiling itself. And right there, you've already committed, what was that, 3 or 4 rockets? I don't remember. But now you're looking at this going, okay, now I have to spend even more for metal. And now I won't get the soak effect, because now if I sail a rocket into one of those pockets, I'm only going to get splash up into the walls. It like compartmentalizes the explosion. It negates the effects of splash, more or less. Look at that, 500, 1,000, 1,000, just this side. Now these little corner walls took some damage, but overall it soaked it. So it's kind of the same idea with doors. It's just you have to add a lot more airlocks with the doors because they don't stop as much. Now, you have the ability to put things on like armor doors, which are very expensive. They cost gears, a lot of high quality. They add to the high quality cost in the base too. And they're usually typically late game type stuff. But usually stuff you're going to see early to mid game or even just the entire wipe are things like garage doors. But there is a downside to it. Garage doors are quite slow. And you also have to have a wall frame. If you notice, garage doors aren't exactly going to fit in this slot. So it's a combination of planning what you're going to have in the base, what you can afford, and then how many different doors can you add to stop people from coming in. Now the last piece for the airlocks here. And again, there's a lot more to this. I'm just going over some of the basics or whatever. But like once you kind of create an airlock like this where all the doors swing in, oops, I'm just going to delete it. You create these single pass-throughs, which you've seen if you haven't, or even if you've watched some of the videos. This way, if you're trying to get into this door, you literally have to close the door behind you to get in. So like watch, if I'm coming in, I can't go through this door unless I close the door I came in on. So it stops people from rushing the line on you. And I think that's important. So airlocks serve a lot of purpose. They add more raid costs, but they also protect your base from getting deeped on. Or going deep on? I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, hopefully that helps or answers the question about airlocks and different types of airlocks and what they're used for primarily. Yeah! Drop a like, you know? If it was useful, do it! Wheel! What did Kyle say?